Hey, welcome back to our next episode of our stair rebuild. So wanted to give you a little update here. You can see we got some urethane on the treads, and I want to show you kind of how we're gonna start this. We're gonna get going on it. So hopefully we got enough room between me and the camera. I can get everything. I don't want to shake the camera back and forth too much trying to show you each side. But, we got the first two risers in, and got the first step temporarily in, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all the risers and paint this trim and everything. I'm going to paint all that first before I put the stair treads in. And the reason why I'm going to do that is once the treads and everything, once this is all put together, I would have to cut in every single tread I have to cut in. Of course, you know, without the treads in there, I can just take a roller and just roller that. You know, I can cut in over here along the wall here. I can cut in here, and I don't mind doing that. That's fine. But I can avoid a lot of extra work by just using a roller on this side. And I think we're going to paint this wall here white too, so this will just flow up the steps. It'll look real nice. But also the risers, we're gonna paint those before we assemble them and put everything together. And you can imagine I would have to cut along every single riser on every single step, and that is a pain. So I have all the risers except for these two down in the basement. We're getting ready to roll some paint on those, and that'll go nice and quick. Now you may wonder, like, well, you know, whenever I'm assembling this, there is a possibility that some of it could get scuffed or scratched, and would scuff the paint. But I found with these latex-based paints, that doesn't really matter. You can touch that up. You just dab a little bit where the scratch was, and then brush it out. And by the time that dries, you'll never know that paint was scratched. So that's what we're going to do. And then at the most, all I have to do is just go back and kind of touch it up. So we're going to do kind of a reverse system of looking at this here. So we're going to set this top one in. There we go. All right, so you can see how that's going to look. Of course, the risers will be white, and this will be white, so I think that'll flow. It'll be white, and up the wall and everything, I think that'll look real good with these stair treads. And of course, before I put that stair tread in, I have to put the riser in, and it would have to be loose so that I can set the tread down and slide it back into the groove that we put in the risers to lock everything together. And that groove is going to add incredible strength across there. We'll use construction adhesive on that. But I want to show you a couple things here on what we're doing. And we got this all notched out. That came out perfect. All right, look at that. Real happy with how that came out. And this bottom one just slides in, so we can actually have these first two risers in. And you can see the groove that slides into, because we made the little rabbit in the back here to create that little piece sticking out there, and that's going to go in the groove that we cut. And whenever you step on that, it'll want to kind of push down in that groove, which will pull on this side and pull on that side, and it'll add a lot of strength, especially with some construction adhesive in there. And we actually have this one and this one nailed in already, and you can see we fixed with some pocket screws our part of our stringer on that side. It looks real good, nice and strong. And actually have this riser in, it's pocket screwed in on the inside here. I'll show you that. There we go. And what they did whenever they built this, so that you get the stair treads in, they actually cut the back of this over at a little bit of an angle. Then they put a wedge in there, and that's what held the riser tight up against the back of the stair. And what that does, it allows everything to kind of move, and you can assemble it, and then you wedge it into position, and then you put some nails in, and it would go. It would be fine. So we're not going to need those wedges per se, but I am going to install those as I progress up the steps. We'll use some construction adhesive and put those wedges back in there just to give it a little extra insurance against creaking or anything. And you can see our bottom piece here. This was a solid piece of wood that they made this transition on, and then we used pocket screws to put that together. Pocket screwed this brace for behind this, nice and strong into the floor down below. We screwed it into the floor. A couple pieces of 3/4 plywood with some pocket screws, pulling that all together, and that is rock solid. That is not going anywhere. Now you may notice the 2x4 going back across there. There's my stairs, my primitive set of stairs for now. This 2x4, what we're going to do to add a little extra strength to this is behind each riser in the center of the stair, we're going to put an upright, almost like it's going to be like a studded wall. And as you step on the step, of course, that'll be a compression load, which will transfer the load down to this 2x4, which is bridged across a few of the floor joists underneath this flooring that's back there, and so that's going to spread that load out real nice, and it's going to make the stairs feel really strong, really solid when you step on them. It's not going to have any spring to them at all, and it's not going to creak. At least that's the goal. So all that will be put together with construction adhesive and screws, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. So as I assemble this, I'll have to climb in behind there and put our uprights in, and I'm thinking about putting the 2x4s this way. So and then instead of face nailing it, which I did over here, but once that's painted, that'll cover up. Instead of face nailing it, probably just use pocket screws from the back side, and I may just toenail the upright, the center support. I'll just toenail that into the 2x4 down there. So not exactly the orthodox method, but the alternative would be to try and figure out all the heights and all this stuff and make a stringer, and I guess I could, but then trying to get the stringer in there to be exactly even with that side and that side. Being that this is old construction, you know, these houses, they always twist a little bit through time. They always give a little bit, and yeah, that would be, I think, kind of a headache. So this is like a nice, quick, easy system, and it'll be nice and strong. So just requires cutting a few pieces of 2x4, and we'll have nice, strong uprights. And again, that'll be just like a studded wall. And anything, you know, if you're talking about compression load on a studded wall, so it's going to be plenty strong enough. Plenty strong enough. In fact, we may not even have to do every single stair tread, probably about every other one. But once I get in there and get everything set, and I'll take a step on it. If it starts to get a little springy, I'll just go ahead and add the extra uprights and to strengthen it up. So that's what we're doing. And we got all the tools necessary here. We got the nail gun, and we were trying to use some of those screws that didn't work, and we got our pocket screws here, and the pocket screw jig is it's on our tool room, setting up there on the workbench. And of course we got the now wait a minute, what could we possibly use this for? Well, a little tip here: whenever using construction adhesive or caulking or anything like that, one of the things that I do, because it seems like whenever you put a cap on there, the next day, or if it's left for like a week or something, this is always hard, and then you have to cut this off down here, or you end up maybe even throwing a tube away. So we use electrical tape. I'll wrap one piece this side, one piece this side, and then start here and wrap it circumferentially all the way around to seal it up, and it'll be good to go for next time. So yeah, that's what we do. So we just used a little bit of that, and put that riser in. So yeah, it's coming along good. Next time you see this, we should have this side just about done. I'm going to try and do another video to show you what it's going to look like as it progresses. And of course, we still have the upper side to do too, and we have some things to take care of up here. Let's try and get up here. We got all this. There was like a molding here, and I have piece that I'm constructing. I'll show you how we're going to cover all that up. The alternative would be to sand this and use wood filler and all that stuff, and that's going to be a pain. I wish this thing would focus. That's going to be a pain. So we'll scrape that down, maybe sand it a little bit and put some paint on it, and then all this stuff is going to be covered up. And then I'll have a piece of trim that runs down. So we'll show you that in another video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe. See you next time.